Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
So this happened coming through a fucking tunnel. I'm in a wreck. This is fucking bad. Oh, this truck is on fire. I got to get out of here. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Yo, this is in the Green River Tunnel. Shout outs to Top Hauler, who was almost burned alive, made it out safely. Yo, it sounded like the depths of hell in there. The screaming sounded horrific. This is scary. My condolences go to the families of the victims.
Holy shit. So I almost died in there, man.
Hey, what are you driving?
The TVA truck right there. It's up in the tunnel. I fucking.
I was in the yellow Penske truck. My truck's in there too.
I'm one of the very last ones, man.
Are you, what are you,
So the truck on front of me was on fire.
okay.
That guy's dying in there. He's dead.
Okay.
It's burnt up.
Just hold on. What are you, we can't go in there right now, okay? They're getting fire in here.
Fuck. That was a wild ride. Oh God. That guy's burnt up in there, man. My truck is next in line up here. It's on fire.
What's the truck on front carrying? What's your truck carrying?
TVA is my truck.
What is it carrying?
Oh, just food, man. Just food.
It's good.
Yeah.
What's your truck carrying?
Oh, God dang it. I'm so screwed.
So now Detroit is in a state of emergency, y'all. Did y'all hear what happened to Detroit? A main water line broke in Detroit and the streets are completely flooded, y'all. Not only that, but it is snowing, y'all. Look at that.
Dude, out of all my years, I have never seen this shit.
This right here is in Southwest Detroit. But do you guys see the sky? Y'all see how bright it is? And I'ma always give y'all an aerial point of view of this, cause from the sky this thing looks even crazy, y'all. And people are, oh my goodness, y'all. People are stuck in their homes and they can't go anywhere. Look at the streets just filled with dirt, debris, and garbage, y'all. And then just the snow all over the cars. What? This is literally out of a movie, y'all. What, like, imagine how cold it is. Not only is it snowing, but flooding as well. And then the water line is broken. Nobody can use water. And I just heard that the power is also out. Oh my goodness, y'all. Bro, this is crazy, man. The day after tomorrow movies really do exist. I don't know what's going on anymore, y'all. But the shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
Yo, this is insane. Shout outs to Detroit. Our prayers are with you. Shout outs to Conscious Juice for bringing this to our attention.
Doge posted this today. The Treasury Access Symbol, TAS, is an identification code linking a Treasury payment to a budget line item, which is a standard financial process. In the federal government, the TAS field was left optional for around $4.7 trillion in payments and was often left blank, making traceability almost impossible. As of Saturday, this is now a required field, increasing insight into where money is actually going, Thanks to the US Treasury for the great work. By the way, we don't know if TikTok is going to be here in a couple months or not. I've started a free newsletter on Substack. I can directly connect with you guys without having to worry about being censored. So the link to that is in my bio, and I hope to see you there.
Where's the money? 4.7 trillion. That ain't just a walk in the park. Shout outs to NLDR Media. Make sure y'all go follow him. Follow his newsletter.
Thousands of bureaucrats woke up today to a big "you're fired." 1,000 workers at the VA fired. 2,000 workers at the Department of Energy fired. 3,000 workers at the U.S. Forest Service fired. And 1/10 of the CDC was fired too. It's all happening over Zoom. They log on, get fired, and are made to evacuate the building in 30 minutes. Elon just called himself the weed killer.
We do need to delete entire agencies as opposed to leave part of them behind. It's kind of like if leaving a weed, if you don't remove the roots of the weed, then it's easy for the weed to grow back.
Musk says, how many agencies do you really need to run a country? 99? Not 450, that's for sure. Musk is a corporate turnaround artist, and the government's his new pet project. The world's richest man's been sleeping on a couch and sometimes the floor of the Eisenhower building. Just yesterday, Elon and Big Balls gutted $115 million of fat federal contracts. And they've gotten the libertarians turned on.
The United States should not be the sugar daddy for the entire world. $15 million was awarded to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan to distribute oral contraceptives and condoms. USAID spent $32,000 in Peru to create a comic featuring a trans hero to address social and mental health issues. What does that have to do with diplomacy? I guess the U.S. is now the travel agent for the entire world since they spent $50 million on Tunisia's tourism. USAID gave $87.9 million to help Afghans farm, and incidentally, farm poppy, the plant from which opium is extracted. As of 2021, Afghanistan supplied 90% of the world's heroin. I thought the saying in the U.S. was just say no to drugs. How about we just say no to wasteful
bars?
aid?
Buckle up, because I'm about to take you on a wild ride down a gold bar Fort Knox rabbit hole. Since Doge has been auditing everything, Senator Rand Paul over the weekend sounded the alarm that the United States has more gold bars than any other country, and it's all being stored at Fort Knox. But yet, it hasn't been audited since 1974. So he calls on Elon and says, hey, you might want to take a look at this. Elon Musk replies on Twitter and basically says, what? They haven't done an audit since 1974? Yeah, we absolutely should do that. In fact, he suggests doing a live video walkthrough of Fort Knox to ensure that all the gold is there. Now, weirdly, since he made that suggestion, there are reports that U.S. banks are flying gold from London to New York. And when I'm talking about gold, I'm talking mass amounts of gold, 8,000 bars worth millions and millions of dollars. Also, since this conversation started taking place, it is now raining all over Kentucky, and Fort Knox and the surrounding areas are under flood warning. So no audits are going to be taking place, at least in the next couple of days. What's even crazier is that conspiracies around the U.S. gold at Fort Knox have been going around for decades. And in 1974, the same year that they stopped auditing Fort Knox, there was an article released that an anonymous source said that the Rockefellers were pressuring the Federal Reserve to sell Fort Knox's gold bars at a super cheap price to anonymous Europeans. After this was printed in the newspaper, the anonymous source was revealed to be Louise Boyer, Norman Rockefeller's secretary, and she mysteriously falls to her unaliving because she fell off of her 10-story balcony. How about that? Not only that, but the James Bond movie Goldfinger was Bond discovers Goldfinger's plan to rob Fort Knox of the gold. And who wrote the book Goldfinger that later became the James Bond movie? A guy named Ian Fleming, who worked for British naval intelligence during World War II. And back in the day, people believed that he was using real life experiences to write fiction that now became super successful. You could go a million different ways with all of this information. Was our gold previously sold to Europeans and now they're flying it back? Did it just happen to rain when an audit's supposed to be taking place? Did a counterintelligence individual try to sound the alarm back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s? I don't know, but I wanted to share all this information and I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Now, was that a wild ride? Shout outs to WFF News. Where is the gold?
Me and Dr. Stone have a lot in common. A lot. See, when they make up these shows, they're showing you things in plain sight. And if you have the eyes to see, you'll be able to see. Now, for those of you who have ever watched Dr. Stone, do y'all remember how it started? Well, it started with a bunch of people seeing a big, bright white light or something out of the sky, some kind of energy beam. That energy beam turned those people into petrified statues. Yeah, you know where I'm going. Then Dr. Stone came along and he used alchemy to release these people from petrified states. Now, let's keep going. I stumbled upon this. And when I stumbled upon this, I sat there and I thought about it, just like you're going to think about it. And you're going to come to the same conclusion. They are lying about the city of Pompeii. And when I say they're lying, I mean like, yo, those people are real petrified people. These people right here, look at what these guys are doing right now. Just look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing, right? What they want to try and tell you is, listen to this bullshit story. The Garden of the Fugitives, maybe the most harrowing and disturbing Pompeii ruins, are the actual people who turned to stones due to the fire and ash of the eruption. The place where the 13 bodies are is called the Garden of the Fugitives. Archaeologists say that these people were trying to escape the eruption but didn't make it. Originally, the bodies were in separate groups but are displayed together. Y'all not making sense right now, because y'all just now said a volcano erupted. Y'all also said turned to stones due to fire and ash of an eruption? A closer examination of the cast revealed more tragedies. Out of the 13 bodies, 5 or 6 were children, including a baby whose bone analysis showed that it was only a year old. Another burly is that of a merchant. At first reached his arm and he tried to raise himself and run. These people were frozen in time while moving instantly by a volcano that erupted. Then this is the part where they take something very, very real that you won't be able to understand and try and explain it away. The cast of Pompeii are plaster molds created by Giuseppe Fiorelli in the 19th century, when archaeologists discovered cavities in the volcanic ash. Follow me here. The white NPC archaeologists are at Pompeii. They're looking around. Oh, shoot! There's a cavity in the ash. They filled them with plaster. So there's like, oh, looks like there's a hole. We're going to put plaster in that hole, and it's going to take the form of whatever's down there. It's also going to preserve the shape and final posture of the victims. These casts are not petrified bodies, but rather impressions left behind the bodies, offering a unique and haunting glimpse into the tragic events of this eruption. This is how they lie. They talk to y'all like y'all stupid children. Take a look at this. Take a look. Remember what I just read to you. They want to tell you, Pompeii, archaeologists were just walking along, and 19th century, they have no power tools, no electronic, no nothing. They walking along, they saw a hole, and this dude was like, yo, go get the plaster. There's a hole here. Yeah, most likely we're going to pour this plaster down there, and it's going to give us a nice mold of a body. Really? So this guy in the 19th century, it's the 1900s. you poured plaster down into a hole, and plaster did that? Plaster. You found these perfect cavities that had these bodies that were the volcanic ash turned them to stone. Oh wait, no. The volcanic ash left their bodies so that they, hold on, they'll explain it. He poured plaster into the voids left by the decomposed bodies. The plaster hardened, and then the outer layers of ash were chipped away. The cast shows the victim's forms and surviving bones. The cast shows signs of pain from the suffocation and asphyxiation. No, it don't. If you pour plaster down into a hole, do you think years later the dirt didn't move? Do you think animals didn't decompose and eat the body? This is where they're lying. Right now is the aha moment. Right now is where you should be going, oh, shit. Because you know, you can't. There's a... Give me a second. This is Pompeii. This is the volcano in the background. This is Pompeii today. Just so you can see how real it is. The volcano, Vesuvius, they said blew up everything, right? Look at that. All my Tartarian friends that know all about the Meltrix and so... What does that look like to you? Let's take a closer look. What does that look like to you? Look, you see the bricks, this, that, and the third. Oh, the tops are just fried off. Look, the eruption of Vesuvius killed people of Pompeii in 15 minutes. Because y'all been believing this bullshit your entire life. Because y'all don't critically think I ask any goddamn questions. Y'all sit around and let these white NPCs and these corny archaeologists and all the rest of these dummies tell y'all what history is. Listen, you think that erupted, and these people did what? They just sat there. Oh, things erupted. And what is it throwing? It's just throwing out hot lava and magma all over the place. Tell me, how does it kill all the people in 15 minutes? How? Why did you make this image? Why are you trying to sell this so bad? Look at this image they made. So that your brain falls for it like, oh, those people of Pompeii were turned to stone by that. Look, not only that, I showed you the volcano and how far away it was so that you understood in real time, right? What did they do? They made that volcano seem like it was right on top of the town. Is it? No, it's not. They make it seem like the volcano was over the town. Look, it was just shooting hot ash at them within 15 minutes. This is complete and utter bullshit. What you are seeing are real, petrified fucking humans from the last reset. But they have to explain it away. The rise of Pompeii. You mean the killing and the genocide of a Tartarian city? The fuck? What, you thought we weren't going to find out? You killed all of those people. You hit them with the same energy weapon that you hit all the rest of the buildings with. And when they actually located the petrified bodies, you said, let's try and explain this away. Material from the volcano had covered bodies of the dead, setting hard and solid around them. As the flesh, internal organs, and clothing gradually decomposed, a void was left. There is no void. The truth is, they are not actual bodies at all. Of course, they gotta keep explaining it to you. Meanwhile, if you type in petrified human beings on Google, look what comes up. Scary part, if you look in this picture, this has nothing to do with somebody pouring plaster down a hole. You can see they are excavating petrified bodies. Yeah, Dr. Stone, very real, and they plain in our face. But when the mind's blind, the eyes can't see.
When the mind is blind, the eyes can't see. Shout outs to Piper Miller 31. I never seen that cartoon, but it looks very interesting. There's some truth in plain sight. Yeah, the story of Pompeii I never really questioned, but with this video right here, makes it seem very interesting.
Drop it! Come on! Holy. 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 Oh my God. Yo, I was on this plane. Oh my God. Yo, I was on this plane.
Yeah, they already told you that the spell is over when Lizzie over there died and they snapped the wand and put it right on her casket for the whole world to see. Most of y'all missed that, went right over your head. Now what queen you know? All the queens I know carry scepters or staffs. This one had a wand. Only people I know that carry wands was witches and warlocks. See, they putting everything right in front of your face because it's revelation. You thinking it's a great war of Armageddon, but it means to reveal.
Jesus is coming. The rapture is here. My Savior, my Lord Savior is coming. You're doing it wrong. You've fallen under the illusion of the Antichrist, the Anunnaki. But when is the rapture coming? It's happening now. Not in the way that you were told. No bodies floating up into the sky. No Caucasian bearded white man coming to save the day. Jesus said in Luke 17:20-21, "The kingdom of God does not come with observation, for behold, the kingdom of heaven is within you." The rapture was never about leaving earth. It was always about transcending it and bringing heaven here on earth now by embodying it. This is the great separation. The wheat from the tares, the sheep from the goat. The ones who see and the ones who are still blind. Alongside the rapture, there's also the great deception, and many are already falling for it. 2 Thessalonians 2:3 warns that the great falling away before the return of Christ, many will be deceived, believing lies instead of truth. The greatest lie? That heaven is a place that you go after you die, that it's somewhere far away and unreachable until the end. But Jesus never said that heaven was a destination. He said it was a reality to be embodied. And he taught us to pray, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." They will sell you salvation, but it will be a prison. They will offer you freedom, but it will come with invisible chains. They will say, "Follow us, we will lead you into the light." But where they lead is not of the light. A lot of people are waking up. Their eyes are opening. They're stepping into the kingdom that is already here. Others, they're clinging onto the world that is collapsing, waiting for a Messiah that's never going to come outside of you. Matthew 24:40 says, 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken, the other left. This isn't about running. This isn't about waiting. This is about choosing. So the real question isn't when is the rapture coming? The real question is, are you waking up and commanding your sovereignty, or are you being left behind?
Which one is it? Shoutouts to Madison Vanderby with her interesting take. I see where she's going with it, definitely.
Everything we did back in the day was done with airships. There's something very peculiar about our world that we missed. And it's our mooring mast. Not only mooring mast, the fact that it's called a M-O-O-R-ing mast. Who do you think designed that? Mooring mast. A mast on shore or on a ship with a fitting at the top to receive the mooring device of a rigid dirigible airship. Mooring masts. Now see, these mooring masts were everywhere. This one right here is on top of the Empire State Building. The problem with this is by the time they implemented the Empire State Building, by the time they introduced it as being founded, that's when they were erasing all of the old world technology. That's why we never got to see this fully in action. Although this did happen and it did dock for 3 minutes in 1931. This is Seattle. Actually, no, this is Birmingham, Alabama. And yes, right on top of that building, there is a mooring mast for an airship. You see, these things have been everywhere. But these are Tartarian devices. Basically, these are Tartarian air stations. They tried to pass them off to you guys as lighthouses. As I show you this, you let me know if it's a lighthouse or if it's a mooring station. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You tell me what it is. But they're all designed the same and very intricately. And another thing you have to remember, all these structures I'm going to show you, these are all made out of stone. So somebody with some kind of tool in the 1600s, they were carving this out in stone. I find these very, very peculiar, don't you? Look at them all. They're all the same. Cylinder goes up to the top, has a platform up there, statue or something, some kind of mooring device. Just like this. Just like a lighthouse. They're all the same. Mooring mast device at the top, landing platform, stairs for you to come down. Same exact thing. Here. Platform, stairs inside for you to come down. Or go up. This is what they look like on the inside. And they're very, very sturdy. This is the destruction of Nelson's pillar. Of course, they had to tear that one down. Look at this beautiful bad boy right here. What do you think that's made for? I'll show you what it looked like back in the day. That's what it looked like back in the day. This is when the Danish royal family is coming in. And they're getting ready to land here. And they're going to come on down the pillar. And then they're going to come down here and make their entrance here. Yeah. There we go. This is even better look. This is a look from underneath of what that crowd is looking at right now. I think this is that moment when certain things become more obvious. A mooring mast or mooring tower is a structure designed for the docking of an airship. This is how we traveled everywhere. We could even dock our airships up, right side up. Look at that. U.S. Navy's dirigible Los Angeles upended after a turbulent wind flipped the 750-foot airship on its nose. And it went right back and it righted itself. And then look right here, for anybody who wants to question what I said before. The most famous mooring mast ever designed was the spire of the Empire State Building. Okay? They didn't put the most infamous mooring mast on top of the tallest building so that they could just not use it. Like I said, all of our structures were functional. They tried to tell y'all these were victory columns. That's what they tell you. They label them as victory. Oh, that's a victory column. Oh, that person on top. Oh, it's a victory. No, it's not. It's a mooring mast for an airship. Want to see the top of this column? Or should I say top of this mooring mast. Look at the size of that structure. Look at the size of those people. Look at the size of those stones. How? How are you even getting that up there in the 1800s? They didn't build that. That is 100% Tartarian. And look at these. You see, all I got to do is show you the blueprints. Now your eyes is open. You know exactly what that is. You know exactly what that is. You know exactly what that is. And you know damn well it ain't no lighthouse. Designed to act as a dock for dirigibles or airships. Now, just because y'all took the airships out of commission does not take away from the fact that the Tartarians built the entire structure with a mooring mast for airships on top of it. These things could dock anywhere. If we had these, what the heck made you even think? If you even think about it on the deepest level, going by water, if you have one of these, is kind of primitive. Oh. Egypt mooring mast. Oh, another mooring mast in New Jersey. I don't know. Does that not resemble? Does that not resemble a lighthouse? Is it me? Am I bugging? I'm not bugging, right? Nah, I don't think I'm bugging. I don't know, maybe. I could be. But I'm starting to think, man, they whited out those skies for a reason. There was just something they didn't want us to know or didn't want us to see. Interesting. In my honest opinion, I just feel like we traveled different in the old world. I feel like we all had airships. And we kind of just took off whenever we wanted to. And I honestly think as we came over the ocean, that's when we would see, that's why we needed the lighthouses. Because we were so high up in the sky above the clouds, we couldn't see anywhere or anything. Think about it, you're up in a plane, right? What does a plane need to land? Lights. Lights. And that's what that was for. It was for our airships. And those victory columns in your city and in your town, they are not victory columns. They are air stations. If you notice, just like the air station at your airport, a lighthouse is designed the same way. So are these victory columns. So is a mooring mast. They all have the same exact design. So it can't be a coincidence. But when the mind is blind, the eyes can't see.
Well, you learn something new every day. Shout out to Piper Miller, 31, mooring mast. Very interesting. It makes you wonder if the Jetsons was based on the past rather than the future.
I am here inside a prison cell at Syria's most notorious prison, Sudanea. All around me is still scattered the detritus of the prisoners who would have lived here. This was considered luxury. This cell, in a humane, reasonable society, would be for one person. But the guards here would regularly stuff over a dozen into it. People would only be able to stand up day and night. When the prison was liberated and these cells were open, they found stacks of bodies, people who had just died and were left here. This is truly brutality on an epic scale.
I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check this one right here. Thanks again. Till next time.